Today I want to talk a bit about how I create my personal data sets for fine-tuning. So just a warning, I'm not expert at this, but I just want to share what has been working for me. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I gather quality data, how I structure it, and how I use it for fine-tuning models like Phi-3. So let's just get started. Okay, so as you probably saw from the title, we're going to focus on LeetCode today. So I want to create a data set that kind of solves these LeetCode problems. So let's start with a contest that has been recently ended so we don't get any contamination in the data set, right? So let's click on this 395 here. So what I want to do is find the problems. Okay, so let's go down here. So hopefully this is an easy problem. I think we want to start with that on Phi-3. Yeah, we have an easy problem here. Okay, so what I want to do is okay, we can turn off this now. Okay, so you can see a bit better. So what I like to do is the first thing I want to start with is actually collecting the problem, right? So here we kind of have our problem. I want to grab every single thing here, the examples and the problem and the constraints. So let's just start with that. Okay, so let's just copy this, right? And then I'm gonna head over to my notepad. I create something just called -problem1. So let's paste in our problem here. Okay, that looks fine. I also want to grab kind of the Python 3 syntax here, and I want to grab this part here so we kind of have how we should set this up. Let's go back here, and let's like to paste that in here at the end, right? Okay. So the reason I have set this up in this kind of structure is because I have a code here that is actually going to parse this text file into JSON. So here I kind of want the lines to start with -problem, and I want it to start with -solution to problem. So let me grab that too and go down here, and let's just create a new line here and let's call it solution to problem 1. Okay, and save that. So we kind of have our problem here now, and now we need the solution to the problem. So let me show you how I do that. So what I like to do is to use a powerful LLM. So this could be Claude 3 Opus, this could be GPT-4. And I like to use those to kind of solve the problem and get the structure and the reasoning behind this. So if you take a look at our system prompt here in Claude 3 Opus, you are a professional software dev with expertise in Python and solving LeetCode problems. Always explain in a step-by-step way, chain of thought, in the text before writing the solution to the problem in code. Okay. And then I have a bunch of examples of problems I have solved before. So this is basically the same. We have a problem and we have a solution. Here's a step-by-step approach, how we should solve it. And we have a solution to problem 1, right? So you can see this. And then we have a second problem. So I gave this like a many-shot examples to solve these problems. So if we scroll all the way down here, we have a problem 10 that we haven't filled out yet. So here is where we are gonna paste in our problem, right? So we paste in, yeah, the problem we just copied from LeetCode. We have the class solution, and then I go back here to LeetCode. I go to solutions, I select Python 3. I found, yeah, here's a great solution. So I copy that and I paste in the solution here. I just go solution, write this. And then I go first create a step-by-step plan how to solve the problem 10 using Python code. Then write the solution in Python code, Python 3 syntax. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so you can see here we have a step-by-step plan how to solve problem 10. We get 5 steps, right? Okay, that's great. We have a solution in Python code. Here we have the suggested solution. So you can see this is not exactly what we got here, so we got a bit of a different variant. I think that's interesting. And then we have this explanation. So what we want to do now is transfer all of this into our text file, right? But of course we have to check if this was correct. So let's copy the code. Let's head back to LeetCode. Let's paste it in here, and let's yeah, we can just go here and run it, all the test cases. Hopefully this works. Accepted, accepted, accepted. Perfect. So yeah, we have our solution, we have our step-by-step plan how to do it, and our explanation. So I'm just gonna click text here. I'm gonna grab the step-by-step plan, right? And down here, and let's head back to our text file now. Okay, so you can see we have solution to problem 1. So I just want to paste this in here. step-by-step plan to solve problem 1. Okay. Solution in Python code. So we kind of need the code, right? So let's go back here and let's copy the solution. Let's paste it in here. Great. Space, and let's grab the explanation too, right? So let's grab the full explanation of this. And I think this is very valuable data, right? Because we kind of combined a problem with kind of the step-by-step plan how to solve it. We get the solution and we get the explanation. I think this is very good data. So now this is kind of ready. So that means we are actually ready now to kind of turn this or convert this into our first JSON example. Okay, if we go back to our code now, you can see there are 3 fields we want in our JSON file. We want instruction, input, and output. So for instruction, I kind of hard coded. So this is solve the following LeetCode problem. So that is our instruction. And input is gonna be, of course, the problem, right? And the output is gonna be solution to problem. So let's see how this works now. If we go to our, let's do Python, right? And let's do 1 million and run it. So you can see problems parsed written to LeetCode problems t JSON. Okay, so let's go open that. And here you can see, here is our format now. Oops. So we have instruction, solve the following LeetCode problem. And you can see here is our input. So you can see it starts with, you are given 2 arrays of equal length. If we go to our data sets on top here, you can see, okay, you're given 2, okay, that's good. And the output starts with step-by-step plan to solve problem 1. If you go back to our data set and scroll down, you can see solution to problem 1 is actually a step-by-step plan to solve problem 1. Did we get all the text? So let's go all the way to the end here. And you can see we end with extra space. I don't know if you saw that, but if we go down here into our text file, you can see the final here is extra space. So that means that we got everything. And yeah, our first example here is kind of done. And if we just start over again now and we do like, let's say, dash problem 2, right? And then we should be able to create an example. So let me just fill out our problem 2 and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so I filled it out. So we have our problem 2 here now. We have, I think I filled in like a solution to problem 2. Okay, great. And now let's run it again. Okay, problems parsed and written. So let's reload this. And yeah, you can see now we have a second example. So you can see this is not the same because we don't have the same start here. This problem, yeah, solves, okay. So let me just double check this. This problem involves finding, okay. I just want to check that. That looks a bit strange. No, it's correct. Okay, perfect. So that means we have our second example. So what you wanted to do then was just continue like this. I have a data set already that has 13 problems. So this is what we are going to use for our fine-tuning. So you can see it's pretty big. It's like this. It has all reasoning. So I did 13 examples. And let's turn that into a data set. So I call that, I think I call it LeetCode data set, right? Okay, so let's just open that. And let's create a new JSON, right? Like 4, okay. And let's run this. LeetCode problems 3, was it? Supposed to be 4, but that's fine. Let me open that. And here you can see, here is our data set now. So here we have 13 examples with reasoning, with the solution, and with the problem, and with the correct instructions. So this means we are ready to actually run this with some fine-tuning on Phi-3. But before we do that, there's one more thing I want to do. I want to head over to Hugging Face. So you can see I have my profile here. So what I want to do is I want to click here, new data set. And I want to give it a name, right? Okay. And I want to pick public, license, I don't care. Create that data set. And what I want to do next, files and versions. Okay, I can add a file. So I'm just going to upload our JSON file here, right? And save it. And then we kind of end up with Let me show you my data sets, and then we end up with something like this. So here you can see, here we have all the examples. So that was the input part, right? You can see all the examples we have in input here. We have the instructions, so this is our instruction we gave. And we have the output. And you can kind of see how many characters this is, percentages and stuff. I haven't really looked too much into it. But what is good about this is that we can actually now use this in fine-tuning over on Unsloth. So that is what I'm gonna show you next. So if we head over to the Unsloth GitHub, I'm gonna leave a link in the description for this. We can just scroll down here and we can start using these notebooks. So this is totally free, right? So I'm just gonna click on this Phi-3 notebook here. Okay. And here you can see we can start with some fine-tuning on Phi-3. So it's very good explanation here. So I'm just gonna walk you through this. Let me just take off this so we can see a bit better, right? Okay. So let's just start by starting this first part here. Okay, so you can see now we are connecting to a GPU. So this is gonna initialize this. This is gonna take some time. It's not that long, but it's just gonna start this. So what we wanna focus on is actually our data set here, right? So let me zoom in a bit. So here you can see we have our model name. So this is going to be the Phi-3 Mini 4K Instruct. That is what we want to train on. And let's scroll down to our data prep here. So here you can kind of see we are following this pattern here. So remember we have instructions, input and response. And we have some kind of instruction here that is actually going to use all of these examples. So you remember our data set, right? Input, instruction, and output. It's the same as you can see here. And remember, we need this EOS token here, end of sentence token. So that's good. And now we kind of want to load the data set here. So let me show you how we do this. So since my LeetCode data set is public, I can just copy this URL here. So let me show you that. So I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to copy this. And let's go back here. And just paste it in here, right? Okay, and that should be it. Now we should find our data set. So you can see this is completed. Now let's fire up this. So every time you see this check mark here, this means that we can move on. You can actually see what's happening here. So I'm just gonna let this run a bit and I'm gonna show you when we are actually starting the training. Okay, so you can see now we kind of put in our data set here. That worked well. We downloaded this data. You can see 13 examples. Remember, we had 13 different examples. So let's just continue down here, train the model. And you can see it's uploading this. We can press, I'm just going to press every single play here. So we have the Tesla T4. And let's start here now. So this is going to start our training. And here we can get some more informations. You can see we have number of examples, 13, number of epochs, 60. And this is gonna run. Usually takes about 20 minutes, I think. It don't take that, so you can just let this run in the background. So let's let this run for a while and I'm gonna take you back. Okay, so this has been running for a few minutes now. You can see we have about 16 minutes in total. We are running for 5 minutes. And you can see the training loss here now is starting to drop. We started around 1, right? We are down to 0.75. So we're just gonna let this continue, of course, all the way to 60 steps. And I'm gonna take you back then and then we're gonna try it. But while we wait for this, I went ahead. I found a new LeetCode problem from the earlier contest. So this is gonna be count the number of special characters. So what I went ahead, I copied this. I created a problem here. So we have the LeetCode problem. I pasted in this. Solve the LeetCode problem in Python 3 syntax. So now we're actually gonna do like a base test. So what I'm gonna do is copy this, right? And let me do Olama run Phi-3. Okay, and let's paste in this problem. And let's see if it can solve this. Okay, that looks a bit strange. But let's try it. So let me copy this. Let's go back here and paste it in. And let's try it. Yeah, there's some errors here. So let me fix that and let's try again. Okay, so there was just some syntax errors. So let's try it again. This should be okay now, so let's run it. So remember, this is Phi-3, this is kind of our base test. Yeah, we got one case right at least. And case 1 and 3 was wrong. Okay, so what we're gonna do when our fine-tuning is done here now, we're gonna try to run the same problem with our fine-tune model and see if it can solve it. I have low expectations, but yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, so our training is finished. So I wanted to kind of just grab all this information here, right? All the steps. Let's copy that. Let's go to ChatGPT and ask, how does this LLM training run look? Because I don't know anything about training models, right? I know just the basics, so it seems this training run seems to be progressing quite well. Okay, so let's let this run and see what it says. You can see the training loss consistently decreasing from first step, and the last reported step is a good indicator of effective learning. This suggests that the model is learning from the training examples and improving prediction over time. Okay, so that's interesting. If we go all the way down, overall, this looks on track. Just make sure to evaluate model's performance and hold out set. Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine. So now let's actually test this versus our base model. Okay, so if we continue down here, we have something called inference. Here we can actually run our model. So I went ahead. I gave instructions, so solve the LeetCode problem, and I fed in our problem, right? The same as we had in our base test model here. Solve the LeetCode problem in Python to use syntax, and we leave the output blank. And yeah, let's try it. Okay, so let's see what happens here now. Okay. So it's still running. Here's a step-by-step solution applied to problem 3. Okay. Yeah, let's let this run and then we take a look at the final solution. Okay, so you can see solution to problem 5. Okay. Let's copy it. Oh, I just have to wait a bit. Okay, so I just stopped it. So let's try this now. So I'm gonna copy this solution. Let's head back over to LeetCode. Let's try it. Okay, so it didn't get it, but I thought it was a good try. We still got the same cases, right? I might try to run it one more time and see if we get something else. But you can see it kind of followed our instructions. So we have the response, right? So here is the step-by-step solution. We have the solution and an explanation. So let me just try to run it one more time and see if we get another solution. Okay, so we have another solution example here. So let's try this one. So I just added some temperature here. So I set the temperature to 0.0. Let's try this solution. Oops. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so that didn't work either. So what I went ahead and did, I found a new problem that is also easy. So let's try it on that just for fun. Okay, so let's run this and yeah, just wait until we get the answer back. Okay, so we have a solution here. That looks very complex, right? Let's copy that. Let's go back here. Let's paste it in and let's run it. Oh no, it didn't get it, but yeah. It's not perfect, far from it. But what I like is that if we take a look at, let's put on this, you can see the response is kind of in the structure I wanted. We get the step-by-step solution part. It wants to think through that, then it wants to create the solution, then it wants to explain it. So even though it didn't work, I'm pretty happy how the fine-tuning turned out. Okay, so maybe we didn't get the result we wanted, but what I wanted out from this video was not kind of actually how our fine-tune turned out. That is, can be many things. And remember, we were running the Phi-3, a very weak problem. Maybe if we did this on Llama 3, it could be better. But what I wanted to focus on in this video is kind of how you can create data sets. So that was kind of the idea behind these videos. And this is not coming from an expert. So don't take this for the final solution of anything. This is just the way I have been playing around with this. And as you saw from probably the fine-tune result, it was kind of following our instructions pretty good. So I'm going to put up this code if you want to try it out to kind of create your own data sets. It's very easy to go from text to to JSON, if that's something you're interested in. So I'm going to leave this up. Just follow the link in the description. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again on Wednesday.